Leadership principle, really simple, that I want to go over with you today is the elephant and the mosquito. And maybe you've heard this story, maybe you haven't. But you can have an elephant in the room, you can clearly see it. It could be sitting there, but what can irritate you more than anything is the mosquito, because it can bite you over and over and over again. You're trying to swat at it, trying to find it, can't see it. Next thing you know, it bites you again. This is a leadership principle because I think a lot of times we want to focus on the elephant in the room when we should be focusing on the mosquito in the room. The elephant in the room sometimes is there, and I know you have to address it, but those are the easy ones. As a good leader, you begin to understand mosquitoes. And mosquitoes can be people, they can be projects, they can be deadlines, they could be a boss, they could be a lot of things, but identifying the mosquitoes, those things that irritate you and bite you over and over and over again. Maybe it's a relationship, and it's someone that you know is toxic, whether it's a friend, a partner, whatever it may be, you know is toxic in your life, but you allow this person to continue to be in your life, buzz around you, and bite you over and over and over again, and you just allow it. And so, what does it look like finding the mosquito? I think for a lot of us, and I always talk about self-awareness all the time. That's my thing. That's what I try to work on in my brain so many times. And just having, it may seem silly, but having a conversation with yourself about this. Like, get a piece of paper. I'm always encouraging you guys to do this. Put work, put friends and family, put hobbies, put you, and go through and say, what are the mosquitoes? What is irritating me about this? I'm gonna use a simple one. Let's use a hobby. Maybe your hobby is fishing, and you're irritated because you don't have a boat. And I talk to a lot of fishermen all the time. They're like, man, I wish I had enough money to get a boat. I really want a boat. I'd love to be on the lake. I'm just bank fishing. And then I look out there and I see those guys on the boat. So this hobby that you have, the mosquito, the thing that bugs you every time, that bites you every time you go fishing, is the boat. Okay, well, what does that look like? We'll gain clarity on it. What type of boat would you be comfortable with? What type of boat is better than being on the shore? Can you have a small boat that's inexpensive? Can you go to Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops or one of those places and buy $1,000 boat? And then in that $1,000 boat, you could put a trolling motor in there, and you can put a fish finder, and you can put all these different things in there and be able to store tackle and your rods and go out and go just along the shorelines and be able to fish. I don't know. But if that's your mosquito, you got to find an answer to it, a solution to it. And then if, like with this hobby, you just start putting a little bit of money away. $20 here, $50 here. Doesn't take that. Do that 20 times. You've got the money for this boat, and you've just eliminated a mosquito. And that's just one small example. Maybe it's a person that you work with. Well, do you have the ability to fire them? And see, a lot of us, what we'll do is, because we don't want to have confrontation, because we view confrontation as bad, we don't view it as gaining clarity on our leadership, gaining clarity in helping that person. If a person's being mosquito to you, there's a reason why. And maybe they're misaligned with you. Maybe they need to be fired. But more importantly, having a conversation, gaining clarity with them, finding out and asking them why, what's going to happen? You're going to get the answer from them. If you do the coaching properly and have this conversation with them, it may take 2 or 3 conversations. Maybe you have one, it gets a little heated, or they don't open up very well. They just kind of go quiet. And you feel like you're kind of being passive aggressive. So you end the meeting, say thank you, appreciate, blah, blah, blah. And then let's schedule another meeting next week, next Tuesday at 9 a.m. Let's meet again and let's have this conversation, because to me, it's important that we figure out our relationship, whether we figure it out that we can work together or maybe we can't, but we need to have these conversations so I know, as your leader, so I know where to go. And next Tuesday, what I want from you is to be open with me and have 2 or 3 things that I can do to help you with your work and to help you with our relationship. See how I flipped it onto them and gave them things that I can work on for myself? Because you may not even realize like for me, a lot of times it could be my attitude. I could be too quick, not explain things good enough, may seem irritated. My face is I'm like thinking a lot. I've had that before where people think that I'm being upset at them and I'm not. Maybe I got upset really quick, caused some damage because I'm sanguine, and I tend to do that. And then afterwards, they're thinking about it for a week, and I'm on to the next thing 5 minutes later. And I need to apologize, show some humility, have a conversation with them. So what is the mosquito? So maybe it's that. Maybe the mosquito in your life is you not working out like you know you should. Well, how do you fix that? I had this mosquito, and it kept biting me all the time. I did not like the way I looked. I felt uncomfortable taking my shirt off when I was at a beach. And I felt like I was wasting potential there in the way that I wanted to look good in my clothes. I wanted to feel good. I wanted to be able to take my shirt off and look good. So some things that I wanted to do. One, I like tattoos. Some of you may not, some of you may. So I went to a tattoo artist and I got tattoos. And that made me feel amazing and feel great. I like them. I get more. I just was DMing on Instagram my tattoo artist to schedule another appointment. So this kind of become a hobby and it's fun for me. I have my chest, my back, both arms done. I got my left leg almost done. So, this turned into something that physically helps me. And then the second thing I want to do was, I need to work out. So I hired an expensive trainer, one that I really almost couldn't afford, the best in the city. And guess what happened? He if you cancel last minute, it doesn't matter. He takes your money. So I have to go. And you need to make that, if you get a trainer, make sure you get a good one. But if you get a trainer, you need to make that rule with them. Say, for me to be accountable and not cancel, I need to be able to have a window of 48 hours. If I don't cancel within 48 hours, then that means that you charge me for that. And you need to not be upset about that. You need to do that. Because what's going to happen? You're going to know this. And 24 hours is going to come and you're going to be like, I can't cancel, so I got to go. And then you go and you have an amazing workout session. You feel great. I needed accountability, and my trainer provides that, and it's worth the money for that because in 3 years, I've gained 40 pounds of muscle. My waist has gotten smaller, and I've gained 40 pounds. And that is all because of a trainer. Because I had a mosquito, I gained clarity on it. I created an action plan. My income went up 40% since I've been doing these things because I feel so much better about myself. I'm more confident and I can have great meetings with people. It's helped me mentally. I used to get depressed. Now that I work out all the time, I don't get as depressed anymore. These mosquitoes turn into elephants. They turn into biting elephants, if you can think of it that way. Find the mosquitoes in your life. If you find the mosquitoes in your life and you begin to work on them, write them down, identify them, begin to work on them, find solutions for each one, I guarantee you there's a solution if you're creative enough. Maybe there's not a solution today, but you can make an action plan to get rid of this mosquito in a month, in 2 weeks, in 6 months. Don't procrastinate on this because it's the little mosquitoes biting you that it's causing you right now not to have that success. If you want to do something for 2023, I encourage you to identify the mosquitoes.
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast. And thanks to our sponsor, RigbyDigital.com. Make sure to subscribe and share. And go to abqpodcast.com. Get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner.